He bought hundreds of guns in the last 4 years, but the feds didn't catch Marquez Martinez until they found one of his purchases on a 15-year-old at an Albuquerque high school. In a KRQE investigation, Ann Perret finds the way he sold the weapons may be how more and more kids are getting their hands on guns.
So I just want to explain to you kind of what's going on. We have a search warrant for the house.
That's an ATF agent speaking with Marquez Martinez, who's in the back of a patrol car.
Essentially, we're here for the amount of guns that are coming in and out of this house, which you know about, and you're very much so involved in.
He's in handcuffs. She's read him his rights. Her fellow agents are searching his brother's house, where Martinez tells the agent he occasionally stays because he's currently homeless.
How many guns do you think that you've purchased
A lot.
in your lifetime, honestly?
Honestly, a lot.
A lot, the feds say, is, quote, hundreds since Martinez turned 21 years old. At the time of this interview, that's 4 years of firearms purchases.
In the past 6 months, how many do you think you've purchased?
6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Like 50?
50. Okay. And where are those guns at right now?
Right now I'm hurting for money because I'm homeless, so I kind of just sold a bunch of them.
Martinez tells the agent he sells the guns he buys to make a living, but the agents could find some in his brother's house during their search, and they do. Court records show they located 13, an AK-47, shotguns, a revolver, several still in the box.
So I'll be honest with you. I mean, we've been watching you because of the amount of guns that you purchase. Also the amount of guns that you've purchased and they've been recovered by law enforcement.
On a murder suspect located in Texas and on a 15-year-old at Albuquerque's West Mesa High School, she says.
A 15-year-old at the high school had a loaded one in his backpack. One of your guns.
One of mine?
One of yours.
The discovery of that gun here at West Mesa High School in January 2023 helped the feds zero in on Martinez. They quickly learned he's been selling guns on social media, specifically through his Instagram stories. Take a look. Stories are temporary posts that disappear from a person's account after just 24 hours. The U.S. Attorney says the typical audience on that site is teenagers.
It's kind of, as you might imagine, governed by age. So the populations buying guns via social media are generally younger.
U.S. Attorney Alexander Ubaez can't talk specifics on Martinez's case because it's not closed yet. But he agreed to speak generally about how cases like this reveal one way kids are getting their hands on guns. A question we had after seeing more and more teenagers charged with gun crimes this past year. Data from the Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office reveals of the 781 juvenile cases opened in 2023, 268 involved a kid with a gun. That's about 35% of cases.
It's a concerning one, right? And so the overwhelming proportion of gun violence is still perpetrated by folks in the sort of 25 to 35-year-old range. But there is, I would say, an increase in that number of folks who are under 25.
Why is that? The U.S. Attorney says social media is also to blame here, with online beefs leading to a number of shootings. Plus, he points to the large number of illegally sold firearms in our communities.
And not just firearms themselves, which are pervasive in our city at least, but things that make them much more deadly, such as Glock switches, such as extended magazines and drum magazines.
That's the business the feds say Martinez was in, pointing out the gun found on the high schooler had a Glock switch, sometimes called a glitch, on it. They look like this, small but powerful. The device makes a gun fully automatic.
Imagine if your children went to the school and that child used that gun against them. Okay, would you think that the purchaser needs to be held accountable for that? Because you're just trying to make money?
I mean, you guys could judge me all you want.
Martinez denied knowing anything about the machine gun conversion devices.
I know that that's not the truth. So I'll let you take a minute.
She knows because the ATF actually purchased them from Martinez. Court records revealed the feds went undercover, contacted Martinez on Instagram, and met up with him in person at various locations to make 5 different purchases over 5 weeks. The ATF says it bought 4 switches, 2 9mm pistols, an AK-47, fentanyl, and LSD.
This is our best way of confirming that a person we suspect of doing something is doing that thing by asking them for the thing.
A way to solidify their case.
I don't know nothing like that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you telling the truth in the beginning. I don't appreciate you lying at the end.
Martinez pled guilty to 3 federal charges for possessing and selling those switches and operating as a firearms dealer without a license. He's due back here in court this month for sentencing. The feds are asking he spend a little more than 5 years in prison, but court records show Martinez wants just 3 because of his lack of criminal record, tough childhood, and mental health struggles. Ann Perrette, KRQE investigates.
To try to curb the rise in teen gun violence, the U.S. Attorney's Office visits schools to speak with students and teachers. Ubias says most students don't realize the crime they're committing, so he's focused on educating them. He says teachers want parents to be more involved and pay as much attention to their child's social media accounts as they would to the people their children are hanging out with.